Hey guys, it's Stephanie from Natural Beauties, and I just wanted to share with you the beauty of carrier oils, what they are and how we use them, and how we're going to use them to benefit our skin naturally. So, this talk today is all about natural carrier oils and how we use them. And we're just going to hop right into it. I'm going to share my screen and get into carrier oils and how we use them. So here we go. All right. So there we are. We got our carrier oils, and let's talk about how we use them. So first off, who am I? My name is Stephanie Keenan. My business is Natural Beauties. I am a licensed esthetician, wellness advocate for doTERRA, holistic healer, Shambhala energy master, and a creative cook and natural mama. I honestly have been educating myself on holistic and natural healing practices since I was a child. I was probably in middle school when my mom and I were in a car accident and we started seeing a chiropractor. And I was so blown away by um, what he did and how he helped us naturally that I wanted to learn how to be a chiropractor. And I was in sixth grade, so I couldn't. So I started studying other holistic healing practices. So I picked up a reflexology book and I taught myself reflexology, and I started doing reflexology on my father's feet. And then I taught myself about chakras and yoga and meditation. And I just kept piling on the learning for decades, honestly. Since middle school, I've been doing this. And in my mid or late 20s, I became a licensed esthetician in the state of Massachusetts with a focus on natural skincare and spa therapy and a certification in aromatherapy. I also became certified in equine massage therapy and, like I said, Shambhala master, which is an energy work that's similar to Reiki. And a couple of years ago, I guess it was about 3 years ago now, that I learned about doTERRA, and I started, and at first, honestly, I was very judgy. I thought these oils are overpriced oils. You know, I've been using oils for almost 20 years, and I thought I was using the best quality oils. And then I went to a class and I learned about the quality difference between doTERRA's oils and other oils. And I decided I could not keep using the oils I was using. I did my own research, and what I found out was not great because, in all honesty, an oil can be labeled 100% pure and be up to 70% synthetic, or a lesser oil, or have contaminants or adulteration in there. So you never really know what's in your oils unless a brand is like doTERRA that is third-party testing as well as their own testing, and they actually are completely transparent and release the results of their testing. So I know that it is the most tested and most pure brand out there, and that's why I use doTERRA. And once I introduced doTERRA into my world and into what I do, I finally felt like I was merging everything that I've been learning all these years. So that I can better serve and educate and assist others in living their best life and being natural beauties. So what is a carrier oil? Carrier oils are fantastic, wonderful natural oils that help dilute a carrier, to dilute an essential oil. So it's honestly anything that helps carry the essential oils to the skin. And so that could be aloe vera. It could be a body lotion. But a lot of times we use carrier oils, which are vegetable oils from plants such as coconut, olive oil, avocado oil. So it's oils that are naturally derived from seeds and nuts and kernels of plants. And the carrier oils, these natural carrier oils, are full of, nutrient rich fatty acids that are vital for our health and well-being. So they really help feed and nourish our bodies internally as well as externally. And they're wonderful for our skin and our cellular health. particularly with the fatty acids that provide a little insulation and shock absorption to our cells, the nutrients and the vitamins that give our body energy and help with cellular health and growth. And then, of course, they help maintain our skin barrier. And our skin barrier is our number one line of defense when it comes to immunity. Our skin is our largest organ, and it's when it is cracked and irritated, that allows a weakness for bacteria and viruses to come into the skin and then get into our bodies and make us sick. So having a healthy skin barrier is very important to our immunity, as well as just general health of our skin. Some people I think, well, I've got dry skin. That's just the way it is. It's just the way I have to be. And that's not true. So using proper skincare, we can take care of our skin barrier and protect ourselves more. So I wanted to share some essential oil basics with you, and just talk about essential oils just very quickly. This class is more about carrier oils than essential oils, but you do want to know the basics. So when it comes to oils, they are natural, they are safe, they are powerful plant medicine, and they're derived from the stems, the leaves, the plants, the flowers, the roots, all parts of the plant. It's the parts that protect the plant, and the parts that protect the plant are going to protect us. They are adaptogenic. They are going to work where they are needed, and they are very, very powerful. So there's about 40 million molecules in one drop of essential oil, and it is such a small molecule that it can actually penetrate the cell wall. And actually when we just inhaling an essential oil, it absorbs into our bloodstream. So it's very, very powerful and very minute as well. So even when we inhale or apply the oils to our skin, it's going to enter our bloodstream within 30 seconds. And then it's going to travel through our whole body within 30 minutes. And it actually leaves our body within about 2 hours of application. So there's no toxic buildup. There's nothing to worry about there. But these essential oils are full of antioxidants and nutrients and just wonderful properties that feed and nourish our bodies. They support our immune system. They support just our cellular health, everything. And as I said, they're about 50 to 70 times stronger than their herb counterparts. So let's think about like peppermint. 1 drop of peppermint is equal to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you can use 1 drop of peppermint, or you could take a bath in peppermint tea and maybe have the same effects. It's crazy. And an interesting thing that I wanted to share is if you look at that picture of the cell at the top of the page, so bacteria are too big molecularly to pass through the cellular membrane, but viruses can pass through the cellular membrane, and they can hang out in our cells and cause damage and actually damage our cells. But essential oils can also penetrate that cellular wall. And what they can do is they can go in there. There's a lot of essential oils that are antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal. So they can go in there and they can eradicate that virus, right? But they can also help nourish and heal and help repair our cells on a cellular level from what the virus may have done to damage the cells. So that's really incredible. The other thing is these oils have a powerful and very quick psychological as well as physiological effect on our bodies. So let's say we just inhale some lavender. And so we inhale the lavender, and it's immediately that inhale is going to go into our nose and up into our limbic system, which is part of our brain. And that limbic system is going to send signals to our emotions and our memories, our heart rate, our blood pressure, our so many parts of our bodies, our controlled with signals from our limbic system. So that quick inhale of lavender is going to very quickly make me feel relaxed. I'm going to remember, a calm, beautiful day of looking at lavender in a field, and it makes me relax. It's my heart rate and my blood pressure are going to just decrease. And so very quickly, just inhaling that oil, I'm going to have a profound psychological and physiological response. And it's absolutely amazing. The other thing is oils can be used aromatically, which means you can diffuse them or you can inhale them from the bottle or from your hands. And then you could use them topically as well as internally. Now, when I talk about using oils internally, again, this is only about doTERRA products because they are the most tested and trusted oils available. Like I said before, not all oils are as pure as they say on their labels. And so you don't want to be using an oil that may contain something harmful in it that you don't know about because it's not on the label and because it says it's 100% pure, but it isn't. It might be lab created or something. So you don't want to take a risk. You want to use a brand that is completely pure and that you can trust. So when I talk about using oils internally ever, I am only talking about doTERRA oils. Typically, not all oils can be used internally. Typically, it's only things like herbs that we already use in cooking, like peppermint and oregano and things like that, wild orange, lemon. But this class is about carrier oils. It's about using our oils topically. So that's what we're going to get into. So how do we use our oils topically? So we can apply them to our head, our feet, our ears. Now with ears, we never, ever, ever put oils inside our ear, but we can put them around the ear and on the back side of the ear and just in front of the ear. And then I like to go down the neck and down the jaw. But you can apply them to your chest, the back of your neck, your spine, your pulse points, and then of course, troubled areas. So let's say I have a bad knee and I'm going to apply some oil to my knee because that's going to relieve the pain and the inflammation and soothe the trouble there. You can also apply oils to the bottoms of your feet, as I said, and the bottoms of your feet is one of the best places to apply oils because the oils enter your bloodstream very quickly and can get into your entire body within seconds, but you have over 2,000 pores on the bottoms of your feet. So it's a very quick absorption rate and very quickly it's going to go where it's needed. But also the parts of your feet are connected to reflexology points. So let's say we have a headache. If you look at the map on the top of the page there, the reflexology map, your toes, your big toe and your other toes are all connected to your head and your brain and things like that. So let's say I have a headache, I'm going to apply some oil to my big toe and hope that it really can help ease that by utilizing the reflexology points as well as the oils and getting them into our bloodstream. So it can become very powerful if you use your reflexology as well as your oils in combination. But the other thing is, even if you don't know, you just take those oils and slap them on the bottoms of your foot and just rub them into the whole foot. You're gonna get those reflexology points, whether you know them or not. It's pretty powerful and amazing. And then you can obviously dilute with a carrier oil when necessary. So, all right, let's see. So when it comes to benefits of carrier oils. So benefits of carrier oils, there are so many benefits to our carrier oils. We should always dilute with a carrier oil on a sensitive or a sensitive skin type or a child, because oils are very strong. And so using a carrier oil actually makes it safe for all skin types. The carrier oils can help nourish and feed our skin, and they spread the oils further on our body, which can help save money as well, which is huge. It also lessens sensitivity and prevents reactions to the essential oils, especially hot oils. So off to the right, you're going to see that picture of the oregano and thyme and clove, cinnamon and cassia. Those are all hot oils, which means that if you apply apply them straight to your skin, you could potentially get a burn on your skin. Somebody as fair as me most certainly would get a burn on my skin. So those are considered hot oils, and you always want to be mindful of that, that you want to use a carrier oil with any hot oil. The other benefit to using a carrier oil is that, now let's go back to the idea of I'm treating a specific condition. Let's say I have a bad knee and I'm massaging some deep blue into that knee injury. If I apply the deep blue oil with a carrier oil, it's going to move slower through the cells and it's going to stay in my body longer. And so it's going to be working on that inflammation and irritation and pain longer before I have to add more essential oil to my knee. So it actually works longer on the body when you use a carrier oil, and it stays in the body a little bit longer. So that's a nice benefit as well. So why do you need a carrier oil, and how do we properly dilute? These are some very important things to know. So as I just was talking about hot oils, so down the bottom there, you can see a lot of times if you look up on the doTERRA website or in a book, like a book called Modern Essentials is a wonderful tool to always have. You can look up specific oils and learn about them. You can look up blends. You can find recipes to make. It's a fantastic book. I highly recommend getting your own copy of Modern Essentials. But if you look it up, you will see the name of the oil and then these symbols. So the A means you can use the oil aromatically. The T means you can use it topically. And the I means you can use it internally. Now, if with the D means you want to dilute it because oregano is a hot oil. So anyone who uses this oil should dilute it. And then occasionally you might see an S, and the S means that you would dilute it for a young or a sensitive skin type. In this case, you're going to dilute, and you're going to dilute extra for a sensitive skin type because oregano is a hot oil. You may see an N instead of a D, and the N means that you can apply this oil neat. So lavender is an oil that can go onto the skin without dilution, and that is an important thing to know. So when I am diluting, I will take about 3 drops of a carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil. So maybe about a nickel to a quarter size amount of carrier oil in my hand with 1 drop of an essential oil. And that's really all you need. And then you mix it up in your hand and massage it wherever you need it. You always, again, want to avoid your eyes, your inner ears, the inside of your nose, sensitive areas, basically. And let's say, because just about anyone who uses essential oils will have this moment where by accident, they don't wash their hands or whatever, they touch their eye right after applying an essential oil and it starts stinging and burning. So what do? Do you grab water? No, because remember, oil and water do not mix, but we typically would grab water to flush out something in our eye, but oil and water do not mix. So what you're going to do is grab a carrier oil, something like olive oil that you have in your house, rub that olive oil into your eye, and the burning and stinging is going to stop instantly. It's amazing how quickly it relieves it and gets the oil out of your eye. And so that's an important thing to remember, because just about anyone who has used oils has had that moment where they rub some peppermint in their eye or God knows what. But yeah, you always just want to have that knowledge. And then, of course, the sensitive skin and hot oils, we always are going to dilute. Now, I love this image, and I am going to minimize myself because you don't really need to see me talking anymore. I love this image because it shows you how to properly dilute based on the size of the bottle that you're using. So let's say I've got my 15 milliliter bottle. It's an old essential oil bottle that I've run through the dishwasher, and now I'm going to make a special blend in it. Now, based on who I'm making it for, am I making it for a child? Then I want to use a very low dilution. Am I using it just for everyday use? Then that middle 3% dilution. Am I using it for a targeted concern? Something's going on that I'm really working on. Then I'm going to have a much stronger dilution. So based on that, I can look at this chart and know, let's say I just want a normal dilution, an everyday dilution. So that means I can use about 13 drops of essential oils and then top it off with carrier oil. But if I wanted a strong dilution, I can put up to 22 drops and then top it with a carrier oil. So this is a very handy chart. You might want to take a picture of this page because it's just wonderful to have this, and it helps when you are working on making blends for yourself and for your family. Now, traditional oils and the sun. Anyone who grew up around the 70s probably remembers somebody throwing baby oil all over themselves so that they could get that crazy tan and being super dark. So you might think, oh, I shouldn't ever put oils on my body because I'm going to get sunburnt or suntanned, and that's bad for my skin. But the thing is, natural oils do not work like tanning oils or baby oil. They don't darken your skin. Instead, these natural oils, olive oil, sweet almond oil, rosehip oil, coconut oil, they are full of fatty acids and vitamins that actually work to lighten your skin tone. And many of these natural oils actually contain natural SPF protection from UV light. So I love this chart down below that shows you some of the natural oils and their SPF protection that they provide us naturally. And I just think that's so cool that we've got all these powerful oils from nature that protect us. And here are 2 homemade do-it-yourself recipes for sunscreen. My non-toxic spray is a really cool one for kind of an everyday use. It's just carrot seed oil, and then myrrh, helichrysum, and lavender, and then a carrier oil blend of at least 3 of those oils. So you can find a blend or you can make your own. They're all rich and nourishing to the skin as well as protectant. Or you can do the doTERRA sunscreen, and so I like the non-toxic sunscreen that I made for like a day-to-day use. And then if I was really having a day on the beach, I'm probably going to use the doTERRA one that has the zinc oxide in it, just for a little added protection. But I personally switch out the sandalwood for myrrh because, one, I'm a little sensitive to sandalwood. It makes me a little itchy. But 2, the myrrh is a wonderful one that has been known since ancient times to help with protecting us from the sun. Back in Egyptian times, they would take animal lard and put a big lump on their head and put some myrrh on there and then let it melt, and it would melt on their body and protect them as a natural sunscreen. So I thought that was just a cool ancient story of how people used natural fats and myrrh to protect themselves from the sun. So now getting back to our carrier oils. Now, things to consider when we are using carrier oils. Aroma is the first major thing that you want to think about. So especially if you're making a blend, you want to think about the aroma of the carrier oil. Is it going to interact with your essential oil blend? Is it going to be strong and overpowering? So you want to keep that in mind. Depending on what you're making, the color of the oil may matter to you. The weight of the oil, so how it feels on the skin, how fast or slow it absorbs into the skin, that has a big it's a big factor for some people. So that's something to pay attention to. And then of course the quality. If you're going to have good quality essential oils, you got to have good quality carrier oils. You want therapeutic grade from a manufacturer that you can trust, and you want to make sure they are cold pressed, 100% pure, additive, preservative free, and organic. And again, any sensitivities or allergies that you have to the fruit or nut of the oil, you're going to have, I mean, if you have it to the fruit or nut, you're going to have it to the oil. So if you're allergic to almonds, don't use almond oil, okay? And then you want to consider, what are you making? And based on that, it's going to help you decide what you might want to use for a carrier oil. So if you're going to make a massage oil, you want something that's going to easily spread and go a long way and not be absorbed too quickly. So jojoba, olive oil, coconut oil, these are great massage oils. If you're making a cleansing oil, something that you're going to rinse off, then you want something that's not expensive and but will still be easily absorbed into the skin. And so grapeseed is a great one. Olive oil again is actually a good one. And then when it comes to a serum, you want a nice nourishing serum. So that's where you're maybe going to use a little bit more expensive oil, something specialized and targeted to your specific skin conditions and concerns. Other things to consider. So, like when we go back to aromas, so coconut oil, you're going to have that stronger coconut aroma. And some people are very sensitive to that. So, you want to keep that in mind. Cocoa butter smells like chocolate. So, some people love that. Other people hate it. It makes them hungry for hours. And then beeswax, you're going to get that like honey aroma. When we're blending our oils, blending actually helps come out with a greater outcome for our overall skin health sometimes. And when you are using something like cocoa butter or shea butter, one of those harder oils that are actually almost like chunky, you're going to want to mix it with a liquid oil in order to have a softened, more moisture, like a moisturizer type oil that you can work with. It'll make it a lot easier to massage into your skin. Now let's get into the specifics of some of my favorite carrier oils. So we'll start with coconut oil, and coconut oil is absolutely amazing, so good for the skin. But the first thing I want to look at is the difference between raw coconut oil and fractionated coconut oil. So fractionated coconut oil means that it is liquid at all times. And fractionated coconut oil lacks the medium chain fatty acids. So there's a big difference there in how those oils are going to work with our bodies. So a fractionated coconut oil is excellent for a massage oil because it's just going to easily massage into your skin. It's not too heavy, and it just works well for that. But because it lacks those medium chain fatty acids that are in the raw coconut oil, it's lacking so many healing and nourishing nutrients. That medium chain fatty acids makes raw coconut oil antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, and is incredibly healing and helps with reducing inflammation. So you're lacking a lot of the healing benefits when you use fractionated coconut oil. So especially on my face, I do not like to use fractionated coconut oil. I always lean towards the raw coconut oil, and raw coconut oil is the kind that you would cook with, the kind that gets hard if it's sitting on the shelf on a cold day. So um, that raw coconut oil is very rich and full of nutrients, again, full of healing properties. It's excellent for most skin types. Only a highly oily skin type, like oily acneic skin type, is going to have a little bit of a problem with it because it could potentially clog their skin a little bit. But in this case, because coconut oil has such wonderful healing and anti-inflammatory properties, I highly recommend blending a coconut oil with a jojoba or a grapeseed oil or apricot kernel oil because it's going to lessen the clogging possibility while also still nourishing and soothing the skin. So it can be incredibly good for healing acneic skin types. And if you have an extremely acneic, extremely oily skin type, you just want to blend it with another oil that's good for your skin in order to help calm and soothe the skin. And it helps brighten and even our skin tone as well. So this is a wonderful oil that can be used basically from head to toe. It's wonderful for our scalp health, our body. It's extremely good for normal, dry, sensitive, and irritated skins like eczema, psoriasis. It is a slow absorption, so it's going to stay on the skin a lot longer and it feels a little heavy, but it'll clog your pores a little bit, especially if you have a very oily skin type. Now, jojoba oil. Jojoba oil is absolutely amazing. It's wonderful for all skin types. It's got a rather light weight, but it does absorb slow, medium. It's a medium absorption, and it will not clog your pores at all. But jojoba oil is most like our natural skin sebum, so it's like the natural oil in our skin, and it comes from wax from the seed of the jojoba plant. It's excellent for soothing acne and eczema and psoriasis, and it's very, very nourishing. It's full of nutrients. It helps reduce inflammation and prevent signs of aging. It's wonderful for nourishing our scalp and our hair and treating dry skin. So this is a wonderful oil. Just about every massage therapist uses jojoba because it has very low allergy. Most people are not allergic to it. So it's just a wonderful oil. Olive oil is probably one of my absolute favorites and go-to, like fastest to go-to oils because it's easy. It's always in my cabinet. And when we think of those beautiful Mediterranean women with their rich, gorgeous skin that's so nourished and hydrated and barely any wrinkles, it's because they have oil of olive oil in their diet, in their on their skin, in their cosmetics, and it's a nourishing and vitamin rich oil. It's very healing and soothing, and it's excellent for all skin types, but specifically sensitive or dry. It does have a slower absorption rate because it is a larger molecular structure, so it takes longer to absorb into our skin. But it is such a wonderful oil, and it actually helps brighten our skin and reduce hyperpigmentation and sun damage. So that's pretty cool. Um, and it's gentle enough that you can use it on your babies and your toddlers for all sorts of skincare. So it's excellent for specifically dry, sensitive, and mature skin. It is a slow absorption and it will not clog your pores. Now, evening primrose oil. This is a fantastic oil. This is one of the more expensive oils. If you find it, you're going to find it in a very small bottle. So I do recommend blending it with other oils so that it goes a little further for you, or find yourself a blend that's already made with multiple wonderful, nourishing oils. But evening primrose oil is rich in vitamins and nutrients. It's got the fatty acids that nourish our cells. It helps with hormonal balance. It helps heal eczema and psoriasis and dermatitis. And it helps lighten dark spots. It is wonderful for soothing irritation and redness, as well as with cellular turnover. And it's just an excellent moisturizer. And, going back to the hormonal issues, it helps balance hormonal issues. A while ago, I had a lot of um, breast pain in my breasts, like close to my cycles. And my doctor actually said, take evening primrose oil and massage it onto your breasts, and it works. Like, I stopped having breast pain. It's pretty amazing. So I just want to share that strange little tidbit with you. Um, so again, this oil is excellent for dry, mature, sensitive, and irritated skin types, especially eczema, psoriasis, and rosacea. Um, it is a slow absorption, but there is very low risk of clogging. And this is just a wonderful, full of nutrients and full of cellular health and hormonal health. So this is just a wonderful one, because actually, if you look in that image down there, it talks about it helps with long-term breast tissue health. And there are specific essential oils that can help with that as well. So you can definitely care for yourself in many ways. Sweet almond oil. So sweet almond oil is another major favorite one of mine. It's excellent for all skin types, and it's one that we can use from head to toe. It's excellent for our hair as well as our skin. Full of nutrients, full of vitamins and antioxidants, and it is a very light texture. So it doesn't feel heavy. It absorbs kind of easy into our skin, but it's kind of a slow absorption rate. So that seems weird, but it doesn't feel heavy, but it takes a little while to actually sink completely into our skin. It does have a light nutty aroma. but it's so nourishing and it helps brighten our skin, helps with under eye circles, and is just overall a wonderful, wonderful oil. And it is not going to clog your pores at all. Apricot kernel oil is fantastic. It's specifically excellent for an oily, sensitive, or mature skin. Again, this is an oil that can be used on our face, our body, our hair. It is full of nutrients and minerals and vitamins. It's packed with omegas and fatty acids that nourish our skin on a cellular level. It moisturizes and is incredibly good for dry and sensitive skin. It soothes and smooths out blemishes and wrinkles, fine lines. It helps heal itchy, chapped, irritated skin, and it will not leave a greasy residue. It's very fast absorption and it does not clog your pores. So this is a wonderful oil. Grapeseed is another wonderful oil for all skin types. It is one that can benefit your skin as well as your hair, and it is one that is full of antioxidants and is anti-inflammatory. It's one that massage therapists will also use because it's great for all skin types. It doesn't clog the pores. It is easy to use. It's a fast absorption, won't leave your skin feeling oily. And it just is a nice light oil that works well at nourishing the skin. This is an excellent one for normal, oily, or mature skin. And again, doesn't clog your pores. Avocado oil is another great oil. As you can see, it's got tons of vitamins and nutrients in it. It's great for your skin as well as your hair. Helps with nourishing, hydrating, protecting, healing, and feeding your skin with with nutrients and vitamins. It is one with a natural UV protectant, and it's excellent. So this one could be good for all skin types, but especially good for dry, sensitive, or mature skin types. It is a slower absorption, but it does not clog your pores. So that's lovely. Now, argan oil has got to be one of my new favorite oils because it's so versatile and it works so well. It is produced from the kernels of the argan tree, and it is something that can be used on all skin types, but it is superb for soothing and healing eczema, psoriasis, and other skin issues. But it's also incredible. It is like the best oil for an acneic skin type. So it can help everything from sensitive to oily. It's just incredible. It's full of antioxidants and vitamins and nutrients. It helps with wound and scar healing. It soothes and calms inflammation. It's incredible at hydrating and nourishing the skin and lightening and brightening the skin. And you can use it from your hair, from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes. So hair, skin, nails, all of it will benefit from argan oil. And this is one that's incredibly gentle, so you could even use it on a baby's skin as well. So this is great for all skin types, but particularly oily and sensitive skins or mature. It is a slower absorption, but it will not clog your pores. So that's fantastic. And then finally, we've got our cocoa butter and our shea butter. Now, both of these are those thicker, richer oils that people like, they actually come in almost like a chunky block when you get them in their raw state. But people think because they're so thick that they're going to be very clogging to your pores, but actually they don't clog your pores at all. And they are incredible at nourishing and healing and soothing our skin. Cocoa butter is full of antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory properties. It's super antioxidant rich, and it's going to nourish and soothe and hydrate irritated and dry skin and help strengthen our skin barrier. And so will the shea butter. They're both incredible at doing all of those things. And the importance of strengthening our skin barrier is, again, goes back to our protecting our immunity, our body's health. So you want to have a nice rich cream that's going to nourish and feed and protect that skin barrier. So this is something you might want, a cocoa butter or a shea butter cream to start using before your skin cracks, or if before you go out skiing or something, and apply it as a protective layer to protect your skin even more. But then when you do have irritated and cracked and dry skin, you're really going to use an oil, either of these oils, to greatly nourish and feed and heal the skin quickly and restore it so that it is feeling good. So again, excellent for all skin types, but specifically dry, sensitive, or mature skin. It is a slow absorption, but it will not clog your pores. Now, here's a quick review of the best oils for specific skin types. And what I did is I put the green ones are the fast absorption, the yellow's medium absorption, and the red is the slow absorption. So you can see very quickly which oils and be able to kind of quickly judge what you might like for yourself. And again, this might be something you want to take a quick picture of just so that you have it and as a quick guide. And again, when we are considering a carrier oil, the FDA does not regulate carrier oils for cosmetic use, but they do regulate cooking oils. And many of our carrier oils can be used in cooking. So you may want to consider that when you're looking at brands. But either way, when you're looking at them, look for therapeutic grade from a manufacturer you trust, and you want to make sure it's cold pressed, 100% pure, with no additives, no preservatives, and completely organic. So here are a couple websites that I like to use to buy carrier oils. So Mountain Rose Herbs is fantastic. The New Directions Aromatics and Your Oil Tools are all fantastic websites to get carrier oils from. And just in closing, this is my contact information. I am a licensed esthetician. If you're in the Massachusetts area, I do have an aesthetics room out here in Worcester where I do facials and whatnot, and I can help you with your skincare. But if you are further away, I do virtual skincare coaching. So I can actually help you with your skin concerns and guide you in caring for your skin. And I do free one-on-one consultations. It's a half-hour consultation where you get a personal in-depth discussion. We will identify your skin type, discuss any concerns and conditions that you're dealing with, and try to help find a few solutions, and then decide if coaching might be something that really would be beneficial for you and what you're dealing with. So if you're interested in that, if you want to set up a free one-on-one with me, you can email or message me, and I look forward to helping you. And I also can help you with essential oils as well if you want to learn more about that. So I do hope that this carrier oil class has helped you better understand how to use oil safely, how to nourish and feed our skin, and how to care for ourselves so that we can be absolute natural beauties. And have a wonderful day. I hope this helps you a lot.